Did good. Did good.
You feeling like a tight end yet?
Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of felt like a tight end when I first got here. I was 230 pounds. You know, kind of already heavy on the heavy spectrum already. But you know, it's been really good. You know, being with the tight ends. You know, learning under those guys like Garrett Griffin and Trout, and Nick. Learning under those guys. It's been great. Obviously, been different putting your hand on the ground. You know, getting your nails a little dirty, but it's been good.
It looks like you're picking up the blocking aspect of it. How's that going for you, and where do you feel like you're at?
It's been good. I mean, obviously, there's a ton of work for me. It's obviously so new. You know, I used to be blocking guys like Keith Washington and guys like that who are 190 pounds, and now I'm blocking guys that are like Marcus Davenport, who's like 270. And so it's a lot different. You know, knowing that I have to have the same attitude, but just a different way of going about it. I have to play with more leverage and more footwork technique and things like that. So. It's been fun. It's been fun for the most part.
Josh said you never flinch, like no matter who it is. Like is that
yeah.
the main thing? Is just the willingness and the confidence?
Yeah.
That you can?
That's just kind of always been my attitude. I mean, I don't care what it is. You know, now I get paid for this, so it doesn't matter what I do. But I kind of always want to have the attitude that I'm just trying to compete and just trying to play. It doesn't matter if I'm even at kicker. I'm just trying to kick my best and be out here extra to try to do my best at it. So. That's the only thing I'm just trying to do is just compete.
Is the route you ran on the TD, I didn't actually see how it started. Is it a route you would have never run before, or it was actually one that you could have done in last year's practice?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this offense, like you can play anywhere. You can play outside, play inside. Guys like Marquez, you can play inside, outside. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's just all about learning the concept. So there is something that I could have ran last year, but this year is something that I'm playing the tight end role, so I'm going to get more linebackers, and so it's a good way to try to take advantage of them with some speed and different levels of speed, which is pretty good for me.
I know you said you felt like a tight end when you came here, but what was that conversation like when it first happened? Sean Payton said you were all for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, stuff like that. You always have people joking around the facility. Like I remember the first week I got here, Jared Cook was like, "Nah, you're supposed to be over here with us, running sprints," because I was running sprints with the skills. And so it always starts like that, it always starts off playful, and then, it starts to get into something more serious. And so this offseason, Ronald Curry hit me up and was like, yeah, we're going to move you to tight end. And so I was happy. I was like, all right, like I get the block and I get to run against some linebackers and defensive backs. So it was all good for me. It was all lighthearted. It was never anything that I was, scared of, but I was ready for it.
And do you view that as like a really good path to the roster for you too? Because they've had guys like Dan Arnold played tight end after switching wide receiver here.
Yeah.
They've kind of played around with that in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it that way. I mean, for me, it was just another opportunity to just compete. I know the wide receiver position is obviously deep, but just us being that tight end, I mean, it just gave me more of an opportunity to be more involved in the offense. Blocking in a sense, and getting on the field, being on special teams, and doing those sort of things. So it's been good for me to pick up on different things of the offense that I wouldn't be able to pick up if I was a receiver.
That was something that like different teams saw you at coming into the league, though, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. I had a couple teams, looking at me at tight end. Obviously, I was all for it, so that's where my weight was kind of already at 230. And so, coming to the Saints, they were kind of wide-eyed when they see me at 230, and I was like, all right, I love to eat, so it didn't matter to me.
So that's why your weight was there, because you love to eat.
I mean, I'm in New Orleans now, so I mean, eating is kind of the big thing.
It wasn't because you're big boned or muscle density?
Oh, no.
How do you like the seam route?
Yeah.
You get beat up a little bit on that route, but some past Saints have done extremely well with it. We'd love to
Absolutely. Yeah, I watch a whole lot of film. I mean, I watch a ton of highlights on Ben Watson, a ton of highlights on Jimmy Graham. Guys who've been here and obviously had huge success. And so, just watching those guys, run seams and, run outs and things like that, it's kind of amazing because this is the same exact offense that they were in. So, just kind of emulating them and seeing where their skills were, doing that sort of stuff and kind of putting it in my toolbox.
What do you think about the Megatron?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been getting that since high school. I mean, that's kind of like the thing. That was something that I've never even self-proclaimed myself as, but, that's kind of one of my favorite, receivers of all time. It's one of my favorite players of all time. So, knowing that, kind of getting a comparison to him is something that I don't need or don't deserve, but I mean, that's something that I always wanted to picture and emulate my game after was Megatron.
Did you watch him this weekend, Hall of Fame?
I haven't yet. I mean, we haven't had much time to watch much of anything. But yeah, I mean, it's all him that I keep. You know, having the attitude that I have. You know, blocking and running routes and trying to be big.
How important is this first preseason game for you?
It's important. I mean, it's obviously going to be a good time too. You know, this is personally my first preseason game. Last year it was COVID, so we didn't have anything. But it's going to be huge. You know, just a chance to beat up on somebody other than our own teammates. It's going to be some. It's going to be something fun. You know, I obviously have some teams on the Ravens, so it'll be fun to see them and play against them.
I know you're not in the receiver room anymore, but have you noticed? It seems like Marquez Callaway is just kind of like taking it on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yeah.
like feels like watching him like he knows he's the guy. Right?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, it's been good watching him, and he kind of took on just being that even last year. You know, knowing that him coming in as an undrafted free agent. You know, you always have that chip on your shoulder, and so knowing that he just wanted to prove himself. You know, knowing that he should have been drafted, and then doing what he did last year, and even coming out here and doing what he's doing. It's no surprise to me that he's having the offseason that he's having.
So you saw like that confidence last year, just like kind of knowing that he belongs.
Yeah, he's a confident dude. I mean, he obviously wouldn't show it, but you can see by the way he carries himself and just the way he plays on the field that he plays like a big guy. And so knowing that he takes on that role of just like trying to be that number one guy and trying to get open for whoever's behind center is something that I'm not surprised about at all.
You said you came to the Saints at 2:30.
Yes, sir.
Did you stay there? Like, what were you last year, and what are you now? Like,
yeah, I mean, my weight fluctuates a lot. I mean, it just depends on what my wife cooks. I mean, she cooks a lot of food. She's Hispanic, so she makes a lot of food for about 10 people, it's just 2 of us. So I mean, honestly, my weight fluctuated last year from 238 to 230, and just depending on what it was. But I felt good. I felt fast, so it wasn't any different style to my gameplay. But yeah.
and you didn't add then to it for the whole transition?
Oh yeah. I had to add to it. I mean, that's just something like you're blocking guys who are a lot bigger than you, and just having some meat behind you just it makes you block a little better.
So what are you now?
I'm 240.
When you say Hispanic, what is her ancestral background then?
She's Hispanic and she has a little Irish in her. So yeah, she's everything.
But Hispanic, like what part of Central or South?
She's Mexican.
Okay, that's a lot of food that she makes in there?
She makes a bunch of Mexican food, and we love a lot of Hispanic food here, and which is pretty good for us because New Orleans has it all.
So like, what's her best thing? Like a tamale?
Oh man, she makes some great tacos. She makes the best tacos, homemade, shells. Oh man, it's incredible.
And what kind of protein does she put in there?
So she'll put some ground beef in there, put some lettuce, some cheese. She'll hand slice some tomatoes and stuff like. Oh man, it's
How would
great.
you describe your athletic background outside of football? Like, what was your favorite sport growing up?
Favorite sport growing up was track. That was my number one sport. If I hadn't done football, I'd probably be doing track. I mean, obviously you probably couldn't tell now because I gained like 30 pounds, 40 pounds, but I love track. That was my first love. That was my father's love. So track, yeah.
Was he a track athlete in college?
Yeah, he was a track athlete in high school. So they went by 100 yards and not meters. So he self-proclaims himself as the 100-yard champ instead of the meters.
What track events did you do?
I did the 100, 200, 400.
Okay.
Yeah.
You never played basketball?
Played basketball. I didn't really like it. Wasn't really a basketball guy.
You didn't really even when you
I'm not a really good shooter. So.
Thanks, Juwan.
Absolutely.
I want to know more about tacos.
Take care.